Hello, Borderlands community. It is I, Garukin, aka Fluffy Mr. Stumpy on Twitch. I've been doing breakdowns on all the skill trees because I have not seen them yet, and I'm still trying to figure out who I want to play. We are on the final skill tree for Rafa. He looks pretty interesting, but honestly, I feel like I have to really play him in order to really understand him because reading his stuff, it doesn't seem like it's as straightforward as Vex's. As Vex's I could read and I could imagine in my brain like and understand how it's played. Let's check out the action skill of, I mean, how do you even say that? Apophis Lance? Apophis Lance? Equip Rafa's Apophis Lance in an offhand arm cannon that decreases Rafa's gun handling, but allows him to fire piercing shock ordnance blasts. Piercing, huh? Any unused charges when Lance ends are converted into action skill cooldown. Press M2 to fire a piercing shock ordnance blast at enemies consume a charge, or hold mouse 2 to charge Rafa's Lance for increased damage, projectile size, and projectile speed at the cost of more charges. Holy cats. Hey Shark, when are these going to be uploaded to YouTube? I missed some. It's like an F, like a Apophis? Apophis? When are they going to be uploaded? I don't know. I would like to try to make some what do you call it? Thumbnails. I'd like to make some thumbnails for them. I'd like to try to get some of them uploaded today. We went through Vex. Vex is done, and Rafa's about to be done. This is the last skill tree for him. And then we're going to be moving on to Harlow next. So we get some increased reload speed. That's always good. Overdrive skill. Rafa generates ammo while overdrive is active. That's cool. So this is the second regenerative ammo that I've seen. There might be more because I might have missed it. But this would be really fun with TDR weapons again if you just reload or you shoot a few times and just throw the gun. The fact that you can just regenerate ammo is cool. It really depends on if you can regenerate ammo for guns that are holstered as well. Because I don't know if it's just going to regenerate ammo for your gun that you have equipped or if it's going to do all your guns. Overdrive skill. Rafa gains increased fire rate. Gain further increased rate while over. Wow, there's a lot of overdrive stuff. See, like an overdrive build would be kind of fun. It would really depend on which action skill you'd use, though. I think you'd either use the Peacebreaker cannons or the Lance to really make some of these like overdrive synergies work. I do like how there's not just one melee, one gun, one action skill character that can build all do any combination of those builds. Yeah, they really did a great job on the skill trees in this game from what I'm reading right now. Like Vex's skill trees sound insane. Rafa's skill trees, I really have to play with him to really feel out how I feel about his skill trees. But just by reading Vex's, I could automatically tell I'm going to love this character. This overdrive stuff could be fun, though. Because you get, like, movement speed when you're, like, doing overdrive, right? Apophis Lance gains an additional charge. So how does this work again? You get 3 charges. But if you hold mouse 2, it consumes more charges. And this gives you an additional charge. Additionally, when RAFA consumes 4 or more charges, gain increased action skill potency. I wonder what that means. What does potency actually do? Does that give me damage? Does it make it bigger? Does it shoot it faster? Like, many things. Kill skill. When RAFA kills an enemy, he gains increased ordnance cooldown rate. That's another ordnance thing I've seen in his skill tree too. So you could build off using what? Grenades and heavy weapons with ordnance? That'd be kind of fun. Activating an action skill grants RAFA health regen. Whenever RAFA reloads his current gun, he gains increased action skill cooldown rate. This effect stacks. Ooh. Okay. That sounds really good and really fun. Max stacks 100, huh? So this would be really fun for TDR weapons again. Is that considered reloading? Though, when you shoot and you throw your weapon with the TDR weapon? Huh. Also, TDR weapons are going to be so weird in this game, right? Because the gun manufacturers in Borderlands 4, there's different parts of guns on these weapons, right? So, like, can a Jacobs be like a TDR weapon? Theory crafted a cool RAFA TDR chucking build. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of too. Just throwing the guns. The first shot fired from a fully loaded weapon magazine. Yeah, and this would work. Yep, this would work so good with just a TDR weapon. Just boop. Jacobs can get a throwing action. Oh my god, the amount of theory crafting and builds in this game. I'm gonna have a lot of videos for this game, I swear. I'm gonna have a lot. It's gonna be great. I can't wait to start making some content, man. Just reading through these skill trees. Sounds awesome. And I don't know how ordnance weapons work. Do they get parts? I wonder. Are they gonna get weapon parts? Because imagine an ordnance weapon being able to be thrown like a TDR weapon. There's no way, right? That would be, you have this big old Gatling gun, and you're just like, I don't want to use it no more, and you throw it. It just turns this giant turret. There's no way. Maybe I shouldn't count them out on that. There could be a legendary ordnance weapon that is like a TDR. You just throw it. It's just a massive turret. Oh man. See, this is what I love about Borderlands. It's just the insane amount of things that could just possibly be in the game. Overdrive skill. RAFA gains increased weapon handling and all weapons and action skills while overdrive is active. What? With all weapons and action skills. Huh? He gains increased weapon handling with all weapons and action skills while overdrive is active. Overdrive skill. He gains increased weapon handling with all weapons and action skills. Why would you want weapon handling on? Is, huh. The pre-order ordnance is a Jacobs Torg rocket launcher. Well, that answers my question right there, then, doesn't it? I did pre-order. I mean, I am ready. I am ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Just let me play. Just release it early, you know? I have watched all of the um trailers that Borderlands has put out. I want to reframe from watching anyone that's playing early access right now because I really don't want to be spoiled. Because I've been notorious for like if people got early access, I need to consume all of what is being put out. I do not want to do that. I do not want to do that. I have seen the end game stuff for 4 though. And maybe tomorrow since well, I have an interview tomorrow. I have an interview. I've been trying to do chat for those that are new. I've been trying to find a job for the last 2 months and it's been hell. It's been hell. But tomorrow I have an interview at noon. And then afternoon, what's my field? I've mostly done factory work and manufacturing, machine work on machines, like a machine operator. But this job I applied for a team lead assistant. Um, and I've taught and coached people in previous jobs, but I've never been like a supervisor, a lead. But I'm very um patient, friendly, and I would say I could probably do it because I when I go to work, I work right. I don't bullshit. I get shit done. So we'll see how it goes. If I get it, and they give me the pay that they said that they have on their website, or if I get a little bit less than what they have on their website, I would be really happy. I'm close to finishing college. I'll be so glad to not have to write endless research papers anymore. Oh man, that's the one thing that sucked when I went to college. It's just like I went to school for video game development, and I really enjoyed like the 3D modeling aspect and some like level design stuff. I really enjoyed that. But then it's like you have to take all these other bullshit classes, and it's just like, well, why can't I just do my video game stuff? And why do I have to take English and science and math? And it's just like, I just want to do what I want to do. Yeah. Sorry, we got off tangent. Let's look at his augments here. Gains increased projectile size and speed and number of chains. Oh, cool. I'd probably use that. That sounds fun. More projectile size? Wasn't there something else that gave projectile size? Somewhere, somewhere, somewhere. I thought there was. Whenever he throw, wait, what? Whenever RAFA kills an enemy, he gains increased ordnance cooldown rate. Oh my gosh, dude. Whenever he throws a grenade, he gets increased action skill cooldown rate. So this skill tree looks the most fun for me. I mean, the melee, the Arcanines one also looks cool, and some of the Peacebreaker stuff also looks fun. But I really like the fact that you can just like reduce cooldown, reduce cooldown, reduce cooldown. What did you go to school for, Shark? Overdrive skill. Gains increased weapon handling, weapons, action skills while overdrive is active. There's so much overdrive stuff, man. My goodness. Whenever Rafa damages an enemy, a skill, he gains stack of Jack. For every stack of Jack, he gains increased overdrive bonuses. Whenever overdrive ends, lose all stacks. Huh. Another overdrive? Dude, there's so much overdrive stuff. Gains increased gun damage while overdrive is active. So, a lot of the skill tree seems to be getting reduced cooldown, activating your ability, get overdrive, overdrive real strong. Activates ordnance. He spawns storm gliders that hover near him. As he takes damage, transfers some of the damage to his storm gliders. Once a storm glider receives too much damage, it explodes, dealing corrosive damage to nearby enemies. Gains status effect chance. He also gains further increased shock chance. What does shocking do in Borderlands 4? I think in 3, did it give you more crit chance or something? Gains critical chance while his guns overdrive. Okay. So what does his capstones do? Is replaced with a close range shocking taser burst. Pressing and holding causes Rafa to deal shock damage all around him. Maybe. See, and this is another thing where I'd be like, I'd have to test this in game. Because this could be cool for mobbing. It could be good for bossing. But I really don't know. Because I'd rather have just a giant projectile shoot out instead of something that's close range. And how close range is this? Is this 5 meters, 10 meters, 15, 20, 30? More damage to shields? Oh, yeah, yeah. Lance now fires corrosive blob that leaves a corrosive hazard and splits into several smaller projectiles whenever it detonates. The more charge consumed, the more splits. Huh. I wonder how that looks. Project Gorgon. Weapon is replaced with an incendiary laser that pierces enemies. Pressing and holding mouse button to cause the laser to deal damage and chain to more enemies as it consumes charges. Okay. Gains increased fire rate and reload while overdrive. So much overdrive stuff, man. It's insane how much overdrive stuff there is. Convert all stacks into mate stacks. Gain increased action skill cooldown rate for every mate stack. Oh my gosh. Whenever Rafa damages an enemy with an action skill, place a remote detonator on that enemy. What? Ordnance Overdrive detonates all remote detonators. Remote detonators gain increased damage and increased splash radius for every remote detonation. Can you do... Hold the phone. Uno momento. Wait, no, I'm in the wrong section. Uno momento. Where is that one skill? Is it this one? Wait, was that the skill I was looking at? Oh no, the detonator. I was looking at the detonator. I was looking at the detonator. See, now this detonating ability, and again, this is why it'd be really fun to test this character out in game rather than just reading compared to Vex is because this detonator, if this can be on a class mod and I could put all these points. Yeah, so you can't get to a capstone if you do this. If I guess you can. Wait, does this get me to capstone? I guess not. Oh, can I not equip? Oh, you can't. Oh, maybe the website. Maybe you can't. Anyway, yeah. If the uh class mods give you +5 into deposition, you could go all the way down into arc knives and have this. Whenever Rafa damages an enemy with an axe skill, place a remote detonator on them. And then you go into arc knives and you just put all these detonators on them. Can increase damage and increase splash radius for every remote detonation. And you do that against the boss. I'm wondering how good that would be. I mean, this would be probably really good with the taser too, right? Huh. Very interesting. All right, what's this do? Gains increased ordnance damage reloading his gun. This bonus stacks. After sliding, Rafa's action skill does bonus shock damage and deals. Wait, can you slide? Can you slide with arc knives? I wonder if you can. Why is stats effect as action skills consume no duration? You can slide with arc knives out? That's pretty cool. Very, very cool. Whenever he deals damage with an axe skill to an enemy, he gains a chance to deal damage again. Wow. See, this would also be really good. Oh my god. This, if you can get this on a class mod, whenever Rafa deals damage with an action skill to an enemy, he gains a chance to deal that damage again. Dude. Is this considered an action skill? Pressing F while peace barrier cannons are active causes them to fire 2 large fire bombs. I'm assuming that's considered an action skill. Maybe. But either way, if you can get this on a class mod, that would be cool. All right, I think this concludes Rafa. Rafa looks pretty interesting. Looks pretty cool. I definitely have to jump in and play him to really see how he feels. His lance tree looks pretty fun. I mean, they all look fun. All his trees look pretty solid. Because normally when I play a Borderlands character, there's like one tree that just calls for me. And I love that tree. And I won't really try anything else out because that tree is just either really strong or there's just nothing else that's interesting. With Borderlands 4, however, I've only looked over 2 characters so far. I looked over Vex and I looked over Rafa. Both those characters, each of their skill trees Sounds like it could have something fun for everybody. And that will conclude RAFA. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys could like, subscribe, follow, hit that bell, everything helps my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, and have a good day.